Hello everybody, this is Michael Because may call me, and today I'm playing some more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2, Watanagashi. So we're beginning where I left off last episode, where my voice kind of dry and I had to stop reading. So I'm gonna finish this part of the chapter of this episode. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swell river like that. She vanished because of unfortunate accidents, but I still didn't see the connection to the sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image. The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer. His wife left a suicide note. They found it in their house the night before the priest died, and it said something along the lines of quelling Urashima-sama's wrath through her death. The curse. It seems to turn up in this one, though. Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was a giant bombs one Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. The police investigated, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse. The police suspected it was a fake suicide, and they're still investigating it now. Someone dies every year, and in the same way, someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottom of the swamp, still alive, and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable in its own right. In the next year, what was it? The damn performance sister-in-law? She was killed. And in some way, someone disappeared. It was a boy around my age named Satoku. Almost said Satoko, oops. Disappeared. It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo. Wow. I could only think of Satoko, so that's why I kept on saying Satoko, because I could only think of Satoko, because, yes, from the last name, Satoshi is Satoko's brother. He's nephew by marriage of the woman killed. Shion cut it with a slightly strong tone of her voice. The Satoko and Satoshi thing got me messed up, dang it. She knew the boy who disappeared pretty well. At least, that's the vibe I was getting. Wait, how did you not catch on to the... You did not catch on to the whole, Hojo? Wow, that sums about everything up. One person dies... one person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact that each incident involved one person disappearing. So, that means the first person who dies is because Urashima-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Isn't that it? Kei-chan, there was no curse. Someone who kills the first person and the cause of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice. I'm trying to get back the Sotozaki voice I have, but right now I'm doing more of my Satoko voice, so I gotta fix that. But Shion, that means the criminal's in the village. That's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking though, you know. You live in the Soa period, so it's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh? It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Himizawa very much. Bion enjoyed talking about Himizawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking anything about Urashima-sama's curse, which didn't pay Himizawa in a good light no matter how you look at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Himizawa of this bad impression, but rather, she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. English! Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight, tense community held by the people of Himizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion. Than everyone else. They all think someone from Himizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The definite silence told me that all that needed to be said. Then let me ask another question. If someone from Himizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Wait, what about Toмотake? He's also there. Did you forget about him? Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit from Himizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan, and she gave me a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak. All I said just amounts to the circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it was, we would have gotten to the police's hands already. As would anybody. Then, what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had opened her own mouth.
Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested who the culprit is.
Takano-san, you sure are a handful. Toмотake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
You see, I just like the cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much about finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking how old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seem to have some pretty deep roots around here.
Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was sharp as the tip of the blade. A woman like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't just comprehend. Well, I think of this as... English! Well, I don't think of any of this as interesting at all. The Watanagashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear. Tomorrow? Huh. That's right. Hold up. Let me point out that smile. What is that supposed to be? Oh, sorry for hitting the microphone. I keep on hitting the microphone. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. There you go. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Okay, I got one thing to point out about the smile. Is this supposed to be like an uncomfortable smile? Or is this supposed to be a mischievous smile? Or just an evil smile? I can't tell at all. And she just looks stoned most of the time. That's right. It had completely slipped from my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed... The string of murder incidents people attributed to Hiroshima-sama's curse. It wasn't over. There should have been like a period there because I cannot read that in one full sentence. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear?
I do wonder who will die tomorrow, and who will disappear though.
Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. Wait. When did she pull out a comb? At what point did she pull out a comb in that discussion? Isn't that just a little bit weird? Oh wait, she might be combing with her hand, not an actual comb. I just had the image of Takano just pulling a comb out of her purse and start like combing her hair, just out of nowhere. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right. I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to get to her soon. You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again,
said Takano-san, sticking her tongue out bashfully. The strangeness of her expression was nowhere to be found. When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help but want to poke some fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Ooh, wow, okay. Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano-san, Toмотake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. I kind of like how he compliments Toмотake since, well, he kind of is that character. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me. The stuff Takano-san said was all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impression about Himizawa, then we apologize for that.
Geez, Shiro-san.
You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell him that you're sorry for scaring him. Takano-san and Toмотake-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us have already dissipated.
Kei-chan, you should get going soon too. Mia's the jealous type. If she sees me, she will probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home.
Really? Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess. Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun. Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long? Yes. I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Toмотake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
Okay then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We'll be making so much trouble it'll be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Toмотake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
English!
Good at listening? No, not at all. I was in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
Did you like my story today?
Well, it was pretty interesting.
Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay?
There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Himizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you. Oh, crap! I thought that was Keiichi. Oops. Okay, time to go back to Takano voice.
There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Himizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones too. I will choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them.
I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head. Keiichi-kun, you can go now. Takano-san is just messing with you. They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Toмотake-san call out from behind him in a clear voice that we will see each other at. Wait, behind who? Toмотake-san call out behind him? Wait. Yeah, Toмотake-san's right there, so who's him? Is Takano a guy? Yeah, good job, Crickets. You're just English expressing what I'm thinking right now. We would see each other at the festival tomorrow. Who was him? When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I thought she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I should have done that, but I regret for having Mion wait. Wasn't enough to triumph over the impression that Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story had left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Will tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Himizawa was carrying out all this under the guise of the curse? The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have left Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Alright. I'm going to read as much as I can to the next part. I'm not for sure, because if it's the festival segment, that's going to take forever to read, and I'll have to cut that into a different part. Oh, okay, we got the tips. So, let's finish the episode reading all these tips. Ooh boy, there's a lot of tips this time. Hopefully, my voice doesn't get too scratched up and dry because of this. Because it's already getting scratched up a little bit since this weekend. Like, the previous weekend was pretty busy for me. I talked a lot, so I'm still recovering from that. So that's why this episode, I messed up a lot, even though it's only been 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm really sorry for that, but let's continue. Let's see Scrapbook 1. Or Shiro-sama's Curse. In the ancient Oninigafuchi, the anger or Shiro-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated that what eventually happens and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Orishiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell would break loose. Demons would come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment of many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell, and it's easy to imagine that there are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for enticing Orishiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in the Okinafuchi village. Albeit that when an act was performed that violates one of the taboos, Orishiro-sama was termed angry, and in order to quell his anger, they would perform a fermented sacrificial ritual. That's it? Okay, Scrapbook 2. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning, involving plunging sacrifices in the Okinafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Okinafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. Albeit that it wasn't so much of the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Orishiro-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I could tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or similar material to create a raft, and set up a scaffold on there, and hung the sacrifice up with ropes and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. And the end of that article. Okay, Scrapbook 3, I guess. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for the ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements or ritual implements, and even now some of them are enshrined in the property of the Furide Shrine and the Free families. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been used in the rituals governing the dark side of Okinafuchi village. As the Edo era came to the close and many traditional rituals were they lost as well? Or perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Okinafuchi and those during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here, today, at this very moment, in Himizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain that where they've been enshrined, what was once looked steadfastly as, for some reason, changes this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it even far from the presence of the people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Himizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be Watanagashi. Ooh boy. Here goes the big plot. I kind of think that Takano-san and Toмотaki are going to break into the shrine and sneak in and take a look around, find some more evidence that, the that people might be involved with the disappearances of the people. Now, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but that could be what's happening, or maybe it could not be. Hey, are you worn out already? Tomorrow's a real thing. We're going to be partying until morning, until it's the very end of it all. Got it? Got it. I'll give it everything I got. Ha 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 ha. Alright then, youth is the greatest. Good work, everyone. Tomorrow's Watanagashi at last. Let's get some shut-eye and save our energy for tomorrow night. Tomorrow is finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups, those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only need to prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, we will be strafed the whole way though. Why? You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything is the best damn beer you'll ever have. Wahahaha. At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth if you do your best until the end and enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here! Oishi-san came in. Everyone hurried to stand up.
Hello, everyone. Excellent work out there. You can be at ease.
Thank you, sir. Every of my seniors, who usually talk about themselves, hold a candle to Oishi-san. Can hold a candle to Oishi-san. We all bow as if we were one of these cheering squads of old. Kurado Oishi, a detective just waiting to retire, one who doesn't pay much mind to the rules and regulations, and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me that he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have been quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had more dignity and presence than anyone in the room than the English! Anyways, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him.
Everyone, I really, really thank you for your hard work in the preparations for the festival tomorrow.
Everyone present stands upright and lends their ear to the chief's directions.
We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all of you to focus your energy as much as possible in your mission to prevent any crimes from happening.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it will be best if nothing happened. However, everyone, please assume that an incident will, in fact, occur. Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. This year, too, someone will die and someone will disappear. There's really no doubt about it.
Everyone, apart from the second chief, smiled painfully. Oishi-san, that won't do. We need to be more serious about this.
The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night. I won't tolerate anything less than your best. Clench those cheeks. We're gonna rip all the skin off the Gosho or Shiro-sama's curse.
Yeah! Let's see if they break the curse. Now, this might be a little controversial to say this, but I actually did like Oishi. Like, he was a pretty good character in my opinion. He may be a little bit rough to some of the characters, which, yeah, we can all see that he's kind of rough to them, but I still kind of find him kind of a good character, so, yeah, I don't hold too much against them, though he was kind of abusive in some arcs, but I could get around that in some of the other arcs where he actually had a little bit more heart than some of them. It just depends on the arcs. Now, yeah, we know that they're separate arcs because the previous one, Okuniya Kushiki, he was there too, and he was kind of nice to Keiichi, though in this arc, we don't know if he's going to be nice or mean to Keiichi. And yes, this is a little bit spoiler material, but he changes between arcs depending on what happens. So yeah, that's all I need to say. I almost went through big spoilers, which I didn't mean to, but I just wanted to say my point of view on the Oishi character, since I liked him. He's pretty cool. So if you liked this episode, everyone, leave a like, leave a comment, and I messed up my own ending. Alright, everybody. If you like this episode, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all in the next video. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. Okay.